Any thoughts about the role of discipline and self-control after leaving religion so that you don't keep thinking about sin and all of that shit? That's a really good question. That's something that needs to be addressed. And it needs to be addressed because there's a lot of people that, because you're not in religion for some reason, they think, well, where do you get your self control? Where do you get your discipline? Can't you just make all of your own rules and go crazy? And it's like, actually, no. How is that actually good for you? Like, but take away God from the equation. How is that actually good for you and the people around you? Just with a simple humanistic type thinking. Um, the role of discipline and self control, I think it becomes more, and I don't think this is a bad thing at all. Um, but when you're able to embrace yourself more and you're able to express yourself more, then you're actually, what I've found is I've actually felt uh, more disciplined in a lot of ways. Is because when I was, going to church, living as a Christian, the discipline and the self control always came from a place of, I can't do this because of what God will think about me. And I don't want God to think badly about me because then I'll miss out on all this other stuff. Or, I don't want God to think bad about me because then I'll feel shame and guilt and I don't want any of that. But when that's not there, then it's a thing of, actually, I can do this, but why? But just because I can do it, does that mean I should do it? And you actually get to examine yourself and your actions so much more, because there's not this guilt and shame thing that's constantly weighing you down. It's actually like you're learning how to walk on your own. You're developing that discipline and self-control on your own. And like I said, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think even if God is real, and even in the Christian context, there should never be this thing in anyone about the shame and guilt being weighed on them, and that's the reason why they're really disciplined and practice self-control. And yes, people might say, well, there's no condemnation in Christ, that Bible verse. And it's like, well, yes, but people still feel that way, so you got to ask yourself why they feel that way. And then that gets into a whole different discussion. So I guess that's really the only way that I can explain it, is that when there's that weight of shame and guilt that's off of you, and you realize, instead of, oh, I can't do this because really the fact, out of fear, that because I don't want God to think bad about me, I don't want to feel this shame and guilt. It's like, actually, I can do this, but should I do this? And I think that develops a lot more discipline and self control, and you know that that kind of, yeah, discipline and self control. It just develops that even more. So that's kind of been my experience with that. So I don't know if that resonates with you, or if you, yeah, but those are my thoughts on it.